Let's talk about some of those lame concepts men use in enslaving women in relationships. The concept that men are from Venus, women are from Mars is a purported idea to push and support the already existing narrative by the patriarchy system about men.
Here's a real life example proving that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. And here's why. Yesterday was my 5-year-old's preschool graduation. I'm already emotional because I'm about to start my period. And so when they start walking out to a little processional song, my eyes well up with tears and I'm trying to just hold it in. And so after it's all over, we got the hugs and the kisses and the goodbyes. My son and I get in the car to go home and I go onto my stories and I share this hot tip. I said, if you're about to start your period and you're going to your preschooler's graduation, please make sure you bring some tissues. I said I was a little bit more weepy than I thought I was going to be. And my husband comes home that night. He goes, so you're using tissues in place of a tampon for your period? What? I go, no, what are you talking about? That you're using tissues when you're on your period. And I'm 100% like, what the fuck? No idea what he's talking about. Because it did not equate to me that the tissues have anything to do with my actual period. I'm like, where did you see this? Is it an old video of mine or something? He's like, no, you said it today in your stories. I was like, oh, the reason I suggested someone to bring tissues when they're about to start their period to the preschool graduation is because they're emotional and they might cry. Not because I'm gonna put it in my underwear. And he looked at me and he was like, oh, what? Are you for real?
The system has completely pushed the narrative that men and women function differently. They are wired differently. Their brains are not completely the same. Women are more emotional. The list goes on.
Men and women, oh my Lord, we communicate so differently.
Oh, brother, say that one more
Subhanallah.
time. Say that one more time.
Subhanallah.
Say that one more time.
We need, the thing is, either we're behind or they're in a different, I don't understand, something.
I think it's just different. We are fundamental. The book title, the
Men from Mars.
Men are from Mars.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
If you take that as a premise, it's gonna solve so many issues for yourself.
Yes.
If you the premise of this person fundamentally thinks, communicates, and operates differently from me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the very first video clip you watched. In that video, I think it was a misunderstanding of the information. And I think that can happen to anybody, be it a male or a female. So I'm going to look down and read what she said so I don't miss it. She said, if you're about to start your period and you're going to your preschool or graduation, please make sure you bring some tissues. She said she was a little bit more weepy than she thought she was going to be. So her husband clearly misunderstood her message. And I think he just focused on the points that were sticking out, the period and tissue. So to him, okay, period, there's tissue. So she wants to use a tissue for her period. And like I said, anyone can make that mistake. And I don't think this is the good enough reason for anyone to say men are from Mars, women are from Pluto, or women are from Venus. Oh, men and women are wired differently, or they function differently. Like I said, anyone can make that mistake. It's just selective understanding, and it could also be that he did not read all the text. He just read the first part and did not read the rest of it. The book Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus is on the premise that men and women speak different languages. Because of all these narratives, because of what people are saying about men and women are different, women are like this, men are like this, men are refusing to change. Men are refusing to bring their best in relationships. They are bringing the bare minimum, and they are using these excuses to escape being responsible, to escape changing for good, to escape learning new behavior and unlearning their bad behaviors.
Every relationship ever is just a man constantly having to improve for his lady. There's this new TikTok trend where girls are like, the moment I realized my boyfriend hated me. And then they tell this fucking story, and it's the same goddamn.
This creator is missing a huge part of this conversation, which is that women are taught from a very young age that it is our job to be pleasing to men, to look nice for men, to act nice for men, to be in service of men, to create our world and our lives around men and propping them up. We've been taught our whole lives that our purpose is to be here for men. And luckily, I think that narrative is changing, but that has been historically what women are taught. You create this life so that way you can find a man. And so we spend all this time thinking about how we can be good wives and partners. And men want one thing from their partner. At least according to this guy, if you look at his comments, which I'll put right here, but they want us to basically put out and shut up. Our job is to be in service of them, and how dare we ask them to change? But here's the difference between a lot of men and women. Not all men and women, but a lot. Women want a partner that is emotionally available. They want a partner who's a true equal partner, who views them as an equal, who does not look to them to carry the bulk of the domestic labor and the mental load, and also please them sexually and be in service of them, right? Women want a partnership. Men want a wife. That's the stark difference. Men want a wife, women want a partner. And men have a very specific idea of what a wife is, what her job is. Whereas women nowadays are looking for somebody truly to be a complement to her. And so when they're asking their partner to step up, when they're saying, could you please try and do this different? Could you please try X, Y, and Z? They're not doing that just to be a jerk or to cause tension in the relationship. They're doing it because they are looking for a partner. They're not just looking for a husband, a person who goes out and earns a paycheck and comes home and puts his feet up on the couch. And the idea that men don't have emotional relationships with their partners, they don't have deep relationships with their friends, they don't want to do this work. Men like this don't want to do this work. They want one thing from women, and they make that very clear in these comments. They want one thing from women. And women, we want a whole lot more. And that's okay. It's okay to want more. It's important to want more. And there are men out there who want to give you more, who want to be more than just what this man is describing. They don't want to just be a body who fills the role of husband. They want to be a true partner. They exist. It exists. I know my partner does. And I've also know that there have been times where he says, you're constantly asking me to change. And I've looked at him in the eyes and said, fine, then you tell me what I need to do different too. This is a partnership. It goes both ways. But if your only response to what do you want me to do differently is I want you to have more sex with me, like this creator said, then you don't want a partnership. You just want a body.
Some men are so stuck in their ways, they are so adamant to change. They feel like it's their birthright to behave anyhow, to dish out bad behavior to women, and women are supposed to accept it. They refuse to change, but they want women to change. They want women to do differently, to be better. You often hear them say, oh, this is who I am, this is how I am, and they expect you to accept them that way, but they want women to take their BS and be with them with their bad behaviors. It's because of all this narrative, men are these, men are programmed this way, or men are fundamentally this way, this is a concept. Those are the things that encourage these men not to change, because they feel like, I'm the man, I'm not supposed to change. Women are supposed to do my bidding. Women are supposed to change.
All the women you dated in the past complained about some of your behaviors. Some of those women broke up with you because of those behavioral patterns. Now your wife is still complaining about those same behavior, and you are saying this is how you are. This is how I am. Oh, I cannot change. This is who I am. You have to accept me the way I am. No, we can't accept you the way you are. You might have been programmed that way based on your experiences and your childhood programming. However, you can reprogram yourself. You can unlearn those behavioral patterns. You are selfish. You are narcissistic. You gaslight. You're violent. You get offended easily. You cheat. You have trust issues. And you are affecting your wife, damaging her, and affecting your children also. And you don't want to change. You have to change, oh. You must change. You can change. Unlearn those behavioral patterns and relearn new ones for the sake of yourself and the sake of your home. I hope this helps you. You're welcome.
Speaking on the ideologies about men, from scientists claiming to have carried research on men and giving results that align with the patriarchal narratives about men, to authors writing books on it, why should we believe their results? Why should we believe what they're saying? Men are the ones spearheading all these writers and researches. Isn't that questionable?
We have literally spent centuries breeding sex drive out of women. Thankfully, we didn't succeed, but we damn well tried. Who is we? Well, here's the hard truth, guys. All the sacred texts which founded the ethics of chastity were written by men. All the legal codes which determined women's place in family and society, as well as that women should be punished for cheating but not men, were also written by men. Until this day, most porn is made by men for men, and it is overwhelmingly men who slut shame and not the other way around. And what do we call a system of power in which it is men who call the shots? Exactly. If you ever needed proof that the patriarchy screws men over too, look no further.
Let's talk about those behaviors that some men have refused to change. Some men gaslight women into mental illness, into confusion, and some men are good at denying events that actually happened.
One of the things that makes people feel crazy is when they get gaslighted. And I never know what gaslighting meant, but from what I understand about it, it just, females get gaslighted a lot in relationships where a guy will be doing some type of manipulative behavior and then the girl will question him on it. And then he'll make it seem like she's making a big deal out of nothing. So I feel like that's what happens with a lot of people's mental health, is they're going through a lot. Like they're crying for an answer. They need help. And they go to the people that are closest to them. And those people just tell them, oh, like, man up, or this isn't a real problem. Everyone in life goes through that. They don't validate their pain. And that's the worst thing you can do to someone that's going through something, because if it's so scary to have pain, but what makes it like hell, what makes it so fearful is to have pain and then other people tell you that it doesn't exist. So now you just feel like you're insane.
So my mom died now and we're at my mother's house and he says that now that story I just told, he said I actually punched and kicked him twice in the stomach and I beat him up. I was like, David, if I put my hands on you like that, I would be dead and you know it. I'm not going to sit up here and hash out the past and rewrite a story so you can feel better about yourself. I tried to explain to him, like, baby, understand that you are a monster. And the way to do that is to accept who you were in order to move forward. What we're not going to do is rewrite the history so you can feel better about yourself, because my abuse is my abuse.
Let's have a look at those men that are in the habit of going on social media to like other women's pictures, to comment, and when you confront them, they spin it around and gaslight you. They say you're insecure, they use words that they're not supposed to use on you just for them to escape that moment. Also, have a look at those men that are insisting on 50-50, women splitting bills 50-50, but we know that cannot work 100%. There's no way you would split everything in a relationship 50-50, especially if a child is involved in it. We'll get to that later. And then those controlling men that want to tell you what to wear and what not to wear. Let's watch them videos.
Man will like other girls' pictures and then tell you that you are jealous and insecure in order to gaslight you into thinking that his behavior is not disrespectful. He's using the words jealousy and insecure because they have an immature connotation. Feeling jealousy and feeling disrespect and disgust are two completely separate things. She is not jealous of another woman. She is disgusted and disrespected at the fact that you're liking and commenting on other girls' pictures and breaking your neck to look at the waitress. You cannot let a man deflect from their childish behavior by making you feel like you are being immature. Meanwhile, what is more immature than a man liking girls' pictures on social media?
How do you reconcile being feminist, but also demanding men adhere to their more traditional gender roles, such as paying for first dates, chivalry, et cetera, et cetera? Because feminism is about social spheres to me. So even if women were to occupy 50% of Congress, 50% of leadership roles, were to, 50% CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, that doesn't affect the fact that if you and I were dating and we were hooking up, I'm the one who has to take birth control so that you can nut in me. If we were to have a kid, I'm the one who has to bear the child. No, I'm not fucking, but, or if, when we have a child, I'm the one who's going to have my pussy torn open to bear your child. But at the end of the day, you can only go 50-50 so far. And this idea of going 50-50 in terms of bills is actually just more of a burden on the woman, because you can never go 50-50 in terms of actual reproduction.
Never trust a man who tries to control what you wear. He's going to sexualize every outfit that you put on just so he can call you a hoe. At this point, he's trying to create self-doubt so that he can destroy your self-esteem. His expectations are going to be unrealistic. He's going to get mad at you when other men approach you as if you have some type of control over it. He's going to take this opportunity to make you feel like you are a slut or that you are craving attention from other men. He's not going to buy you any more clothes. He's just going to complain about the clothes that you have. There is definitely a difference between being concerned for your woman versus being controlling of your woman. Concern is about safety and control is about power. It's really emotional abuse.
Let's touch on the 50-50 aspect of the clip you watched. I tell you, you can never split everything 50-50 in a relationship. Women carry a lot of burden in relationships. Like she pointed out, if a man and a woman should have sex, the man pours into that woman, and the woman has to be the one to take the contraceptives. Contraceptives, they come with their own side effects. That woman will bear the burden. The man is done, he's got his orgasm, he's okay, he's living his life. But now the woman has to carry the aftermath of the intercourse, the side effects and everything that comes with taking contraceptives. That's just one part of it. Should she fall pregnant, she will be the one to go through it as well. If she wants to take off the baby, she will be the one to go through the procedure. If she's carrying the baby, she will be the one to go through it for 9 months. If she's about to give birth, or if she's giving birth, she will be the one to go through it. It's a whole lot. So there is no 50-50, because 50-50 can never work in a relationship. It's unfair for any man to demand 50-50 from any woman. That's the truth. 100% unfair, because the woman is doing a whole lot. I'm not even talking about the house chores and other things. I'm focusing on the reproductive system, the reproductive process. 50-50 in a relationship should be abolished. It should not be considered, because it's very much unfair on women.
Traditional gender roles getting you up. If you think that just because you a man, there's certain things inside your household you won't be doing, you don't understand what marriage and our partnership looks like. Just because a woman is taking the lead in the household don't mean you don't pick up a dish, don't mean you don't mop a floor, don't mean you don't fold no clothes. Sometimes you got to realize as a teammate, even though this person is leading, I'm there to support. I'm there to pick up where you fall short, and vice versa for women. I'm just getting sick of this rigid view of this is man things and this is woman things. No, we got to get this done inside our household, period. Sometimes you get done with your job early and you think that means kick your feet up while her job is still need to be done. And if you're not offering to help, and this goes vice versa for women as well, that's why people feel like they're overworked in relationships, because one party gets the easier things and the other one gets the harder things. It's statistically proven that women are doing more work, unpaid labor per week than men are. So even if she has a 40-hour-a-week job, she's also coming home and working 20 or 30 hours in the household more than that man is. And you may reason, well, I'm bringing home the bacon, well, so is she. So here's what I wanted to tell everybody that's watching, male and female. When you are in a committed relationship where you are partners, y'all both are going to do things that are traditionally the other person's role. It is 2023. Wake the fuck up.